What's up, Path of Exile players? So let's go ahead and go over an update to how to get pets in the game. These pets actually do affect your gameplay. They do give you stat boosts. We'll talk about some of the top tier mods that you can get on these pets. But for starters, let's show off how to actually tame a beast. It does require you to have a skill gem that is uncut, and the name of the skill that you want is called Tame Beast over here. So this is the name of the skill. You just make sure you type in the all gems. Sometimes you may have like a level requirement to make sure that you are able to use it. There's other things that I want to talk about that can actually affect a lot of different things. So first off, let's show a quick little tutorial on kind of the ins and outs of the pets, as well as give you guys an update to some of the newer things that have been discovered. So for starters, in terms of getting the pet, again, you need to have the specific skill, Tame Beast. So there is the skill that you get with the skill gem called Tame Beast, and then you have the actual pet over here that will actually be summoned called the companion, and then it'll name the companion. These are not tradable, but you can unequip them. The pet can die. It's not like it's a permanent thing. If the pet dies, it will automatically get revived, but you have to put this inside after you tame the beast, and then to activate and deactivate it, you just right click it over here. Then you could throw in the support gems, but I want to talk about how to actually capture the beast first, as well as some of the best ones to actually go for in the game. So for starters, I'm going to show you guys a really good early level location in the game, but to be honest, at the end of the game, they will have more mods, but the best way is to kind of just play the game eventually and get them, versus sitting here farming for hours and hours. Just farm one that's like semi-okay, and then if you do want to use the auras, if you happen to have the Brutus Brain Lineage Support Gem, this is brand new for the new update for 0.3. This will make the pet deal 0 damage, but it will basically be immortal. There's another thing to mention with loyalty, which makes it so the pet takes the damage before you. If you equip this first and then equip Brutus Brain, it works. But if you put Brutus Brain in first as a support gem and then follow it up with loyalty, it does not actually work. So that's something that is kind of update to the important changes here. But I want to show you guys again earlier on where you can actually get pets. So you can get them all across the game, but they have to be specifically beast. If I have the skill Tame Beast in my skill bar over here, I'll then add it over here. If I go ahead and actually tame it, then we will get the beast. Now I want to show you guys the early area which you can acquire a beast in. So specifically in Act 3, there's this area called Jungle Ruins, and you want to get to this checkpoint called the Troubled Camp. Now it is also important that you do not kill monsters around the Troubled Camp, because you're going to try to respawn again and again as far as like the monsters go. That way you do not kill things when you're getting to this checkpoint. Like basically you want to warp in. You can see the waypoint is over here. I walked over to the Trouble Camp, and you, again, do not want to kill any of the elites here until you get to the checkpoint. Once you get the checkpoint, you can keep on resetting the area, and you can infinitely spawn specifically a beast that will be rare, that will also have some mods that might be for you. So I'm going to show you guys like the full tutorial on how to tame the beast, but obviously the location first. So now that we know a good location, other than of course just playing the game and just getting one, but in the earlier stages it is a huge buff. So again, once we're at the Troubled Camp, keep in mind the maps are random. It could be twisted as far as like the orientation, but you want to get the Troubled Camp. You'll see it on the map over here. It says Troubled Camp. Get this checkpoint, and then you can keep on resetting this area again and again. But do not kill the beast until you want to tame it, and I'll show you the full tutorial. So now that we've done all of that, you'll see this beast over here has periodic lightning explosions and extra chaos damage. If I wanted this beast, I would tame it, but I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to reset the beast again and again. This way you can farm it 1,000 times faster. So we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to go to respawn at checkpoint. We're going to hit confirm, and it's going to reload in the area. And again, it's really important you do not kill the beast. So remove any other beast you have, or anything that does like some sort of auto damage, and we're just going to spawn this beast in again and again. So you can see always poisons and periodically enrages. I don't want that one, so I'm going to respawn at the checkpoint. And I'm going to do this again and again until I get a beast that has the mods that I'm looking for. I currently already have one, but I'm going to show you guys the full tutorial. But I'm going to show you guys kind of like the little gameplay loop here. So this one has extra physical damage aura and extra energy shield. Now, maybe I really want to get that because it has extra physical damage, right? That is an aura that will boost our damage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate the skill Tame Beast. You're going to see it kind of have these little blue dots next to it. Then we are going to kill the monster. And then once we kill the monster, you'll see it kind of goes into you like a little spirit. And then now, instead of the skill being Tame Beast, we now have the companion Quadrilla. Now, if I want to activate it, it will reserve spirit. It reserves a %. If we do throw odd quality, it will also increase the reservation efficiency, which means it will cost less spirit. So now I have this companion, and you can see I have this buff called physical damage aura, so I get free damage here. And then if there are like multi-mods that the beast has, you will also get those on your character, and these are like infinite, like free power. And if the beast dies, by the way, it will come back in a few seconds. You don't need to like unequip the gem or re-equip it. Now I'm going to show you guys this one, which I think is pretty good. Most of the beasts, by the way, with the exception of the Quadrilla, honestly suck for gameplay except for bosses. And the reason why is the Quadrilla. I'm going to show you guys why I'm going to recommend the Quadrilla. He's the only beast that really keeps up with you. Like, he's really fast. The rest of them, they're just simply too slow, and they do not keep up with you. I'm going to go ahead and throw on my lizard, and you guys will see like a pretty massive difference in like the movement speed. He's just always going to be like off screen, so I won't get the aura. That's why the gorilla is pretty much the best one. But if I accidentally kill the beast right here, like I just killed the beast, right? So I already have it, but for the sake of showing you guys what happens if you accidentally do it and you respawn at checkpoint, the monsters will no longer respawn. That's why you have to get to this checkpoint without killing anything along the way. I mean, you can kill some stuff, but the one beast spawns around here and you just don't want to kill it. You can see it's not going to respawn that rare beast. And again, it will have to be a beast. The way that you can see it, I'm going to grab another tame beast over here, just so you guys can see. How can you tell if it's specifically a beast? If I mouse over, you're going to see in the like top side of the screen, it says undead. It will specifically say beast. So that is very important. You see this is a beast here, but it doesn't have any auras. So we wouldn't want that one. But you want to select one with auras. And another thing that I wanted to mention, because some people are saying that like it wasn't working on a beast, you cannot tame the boss, the Silver Fist. That would be pretty cool, but let's be honest, you can't tame this one. So some beasts are untamable. There's also some glitches, and remember this game is in early access, so I want to go ahead and mention some things really quick now. So as far as, again, I showed you guys a really good location. Again, if you mess up this location, by the way, and you want to reset the area, what you can do, I'll show you guys this because this is a very important tip for resetting areas in Path of Exile. But it will require you to get back to, again, the Troubled Camp checkpoint. But what you can do is you can hold control and you can reset the instance, which will basically refresh the whole area. And then again, you can basically do that thing all over again. So what I would do is I would go to the waypoint, and then I would go to Act 3, I hold control, this is important, and then I click on Jungle Ruins, and I'm going to make a new instance, because that old instance, I've already killed the beast that spawns right next to the Troubled Camp. And then I'd have to go back and find the Troubled Camp, and then, again, do the same thing again. So I'm going to go ahead and just go back to my hideout, and I want to give you guys the list of everything to actually take note of. So first off, I already went over how to capture the beast. In the earlier stages, I'll be honest, the beast isn't too bad for being able to do damage, but later they will fall off. So you're only really looking for a beast that has auras. It's not really so much about like the damage, but a lot of them, again, cannot keep up. But there's a really good one. It doesn't have to be this like lizard, but this one is actually pretty insane, and I wanted to kind of update you guys on some of the best mods. Some of these numbers can also depend on like the monster. There's like a range here on some of these things where there will be some variances. I don't know if it has to do with the level or exactly how it works, but basically there are some other mods and stuff that I wanted to go over. But as far as it goes, the beast can have up to 4 rare mods. You cannot have infinite, so there is like a limit. If you're wondering what is the best pet, honestly, in my personal opinion, it is the Quadrilla with specifically haste. Now, apparently this has been nerfed and you can no longer get it. I still have my Quadrilla, and I'll show you guys real quick. Let me go ahead and swap to my other character. So here we are on my Amazon, and you can see I have a companion that is the Quadrilla, and if I hold Alt, if you want to see what the pet does, by the way, let me go ahead and do this. So if you hold Alt, you can see what the monster's auras are, and you can see what they do. Some of these numbers definitely have been changed, though. Like the haste mod got nerfed. It used to be more attack and cast speed, and then also more movement speed. It will show if you go to the website that has all of like the beast mods. It could be that like mine is just not a very good one, but as far as it goes, people are saying that the Quadrilla no longer rolls with haste. So just keep in mind that Ideally, that would be the best to get, again, Quadrilla with haste. Now, you can get haste and you can get haste aura. So haste on the pet means the pet is hasted, he is faster. But if you want the haste aura, which is the one you want, ideally on any other monster, again, my personal opinion, the Quadrilla is overall the best, but you can't find, apparently, haste anymore. They have nerfed it. But there's still some other good mods that I do want to go ahead and go over. But some of the beasts and some of the new monsters, I guess, don't work. There's some glitch. It does not work properly. So keep that in mind as well. This is a brand new update. So as far as it goes, I also want to show you guys how to level up the pets. If you do want to level up your pets, you have to level up the skill gem. And then you also have to just go to all gems. And then you could actually upgrade the pet's level over here. So if you want to upgrade the minions level. And then as far as immortality, I already went over that. That's the Brutus gem. But as far as the good mods, now I will also let you guys know, if you want to go to the wiki, there is a bunch of the mods, but I'm not going to sit here and read every single mod. I feel like that would be boring. I'm just here to really tell you guys which ones are the top tier ones. So I wanted to update this. So again, I don't know if this rolls in terms of I don't know if they've nerfed the haste aura, but apparently you can't get this on the Quadrilla, which again is unfortunate because that is the best pet that you can get in the game. But this is what it does. And again, some of these numbers may change. Now, the lizard that I have actually gave us 35 to all resistance, which is absolutely insane. This is really good for particular bosses or anything that's going to debuff you to give you negative res. So this is pretty good. And then there's also temporal bubble. Let me go ahead and swap. I think I have one of these as well. Alright, so I swapped to my other character that has this other pet. I've been farming a lot of these pets on different builds, but you can see that there's this little bubble around him, and this is actually pretty good. I would consider this one S tier 1. The reason why is it gives them reduced action speed. Let me also show off that it does two things. Some of these things, they don't explain. Actually, you know what? We can open it up in here. Let's see if it actually explains it correctly, because it doesn't explain everything, and that's just the nature of some games, right? So if I move this out of the way, you guys can see what it does. So it slows them down by 25%. And then it also makes effects expire 40% slower and cooldown recovery rate. So it actually does 3 things in one. And then also this companion also has the all damage shocks, which is pretty good. Now I'll be real, if you want to try to get a 4 mod one, good luck. It's going to take you a long time to farm it, but just keep in mind you want to try to get at least two good mods would be kind of the ideal one. So any combination of any of these two, depending on your builds as well. So yeah, temporal bubble is really solid. I would consider these ones pretty much like the S tier ones. But again, if you're looking for hasted, it's only going to be up during the bosses. But you can also try to get a Quadrilla that has these other stats, hopefully. Now I'm not sure if certain monsters can roll only certain ones, but the other ones that I thought were pretty solid, but it depends on your build. Like that other one, I got that physical damage aura, so that's 20 to 40%, depends on, I don't know if it's again monster level or where you acquire it. But there's another one that's pretty good that you can get periodic invulnerability, and it doesn't really explain it. So how it works is there's a 12-second cooldown, but for 5 seconds, and he doesn't activate it every single time. Again, it's like pet AI, so I don't know how it registers. But for 5 seconds, you could just not take damage. That one is pretty good. It's random, but it's still genuinely not too bad. If you have some sort of things like Progenesis where you take damage over time instead of instantly, there's a Ascendency that does that. And then also, if you run all damage hits can shock, chill, ignite. If you have a build that can do bonuses depending on this one is actually pretty good too. There's another good one, and I want to update you guys on this. There's a lot of builds that will do evasion and energy shield. I'm going to be doing that as well. So being able to have up to 30% of your maximum life as extra energy shield, that is super OP. And then also Shroud Walker is another good one because it applies Smoke Cloud, which I believe blinds and reduces their accuracy. There is a Hinder Aura, which slows things down by 30%. And then as far as the gems over here, I'm actually kind of working on another build guide over here. And as far as the good gems that I could recommend you guys to play in your companion and what they do. So Meat Shield is pretty good. It makes it so the minions deal less damage, but they take less damage. Now, you may not want to combine all of these. Again, most of the time the minions, the main problem is they die in the earlier stages, so this keeps them up a little bit. That's why the invulnerable one, where they can't take any damage, that's an aura, which is you and the minion. That actually can tank a lot of boss hits. It's actually not bad, even though I get it, the minion's going to consistently die. Him being alive for just 5 seconds and just taking a boss slam is so OP. And then also Elemental Army, just to keep him up, that's great as well. Loyalty is good, but it has a pretty big downside. Again, if you want to use this with Brutus, you can. However, you have to socket this one in first, which is something I wanted to update you guys on. Otherwise, it won't let you do it. Now, I don't know if there's some sort of conflicting thing. I don't know if it's bugged, but you have to socket this one in first if you want to play Brutus Brain. I'm going to also let you guys know Brutus Brain is super expensive. It was the gem I showed you guys earlier on my other character. And then if you want to increase the level even further, which maybe, I don't know again if it's level of the monster that can increase the stats of some of these like numbers. Because like, again, I want to try to get one of these 30% max life ones. Plus like, you know, obviously if we can have it chill, hinder, temp bubble, these are really good things. But anyways, those are all my updates and findings on specifically the pets. But let me know guys down below if there's any other brand new areas, because you know this game just came out for Act 4. Are there any good areas in Act 4 or Interlude that we can reset and farm? Now I also want to mention, if you do the Chaos Trials, there is a thing where you can get rare monsters have additional mods. Now remember, you can only have 4 mods absorbed on your companion. I don't know how it chooses the ones, but if you can get that one on a Chaos Trial and roll it multiple times, that's with like the Ascendency thing, you could potentially get a pretty insane pet. So yeah, definitely lock in, definitely get the pets, and if your pet is dying, get the thing that makes him immortal. You can see I've been doing a lot of these pets. You can see this one over here, we have haste. This one's just the haste aura again, and then this one over here we have the hinder aura. I was trying out which ones I liked and seeing the numbers. This is a 30%, by the way. I don't know if this does change, but yeah, I've been farming lots of pets. Let me know guys, what are some of the good monsters? The only good monster that I found, to be honest, is still the Quadrilla. The reason why is they all are screens behind, which makes them pretty useless except for in the boss battles, unless of course it's doing other things. Like if it's just taking 10% of my damage, no matter where it's at, I still consider that a W. Anyways, that's gonna wrap it up. If you guys enjoyed it, drop a like on it. If you're new here, subscribe, turn on the bell. I'll catch you exiles on the next video. Peace out.